Now, what happened was pretty much I was working on this yesterday, and I got to the whole bonus part. Also, I ran out of juice on my phone, so I was like, let me just make sure it doesn't happen again. So I brought extra batteries and everything like that. So what I would do is just let you know how big this thing is right now. This is the tape measure. Tape measure is here. Hey, folks. So what happens? This is the tape measure, and it's a tape measure. So what happens? I'm going to measure it. So far, you have from nose to tail. You're looking at about 52 inches. 52 inches. So if they extend the tail straight, it'll be 52 inches long. So this dip will call this 52 inches long, and across from tip of the head, you're looking at about here to here, looking at about 20 inches. So if you look at the picture itself, it's about from here to here. And from here to here, you have that, and so it's about 20, 22. So it kind of loads a little bit because they're. So anyway, so what happens is that you have this here, and this is. I'm gonna sit down this time because yesterday I stood for the entire time, and that really hurt my back. So tonight I'm gonna go ahead and just do it this way. Let's sit down and do it this way. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna make some skin for it. So this one is called skinning. So the process of this, the skinning process, we're gonna go ahead and complete this as best we can. So we put this out of the way. Out of the way. This is here. So yes, I'm on a new roll. This is roll number 2. Roll number 2 of the masking tape. So we're gonna support the head, right? So we're gonna make sure the head is self-supported. So we're gonna go through and add supports to supports. So this is a fresh new thing with masking tape. So it's a different feeling when you have a fresh one. Here, this is a very big creature. People ask me, why this one? Well, because I think it's unique. People have seen frogs before. They've seen frogs before. They've never seen Diplocalus, or they've seen it just probably like a Pokemon or something, or some kind of creature. Looks like there was like a hammerhead sound. I think it's such a cool concept. So we're gonna do some skinning on this one. Let's see how we're gonna how long it takes us to skin this thing. So you have to be able to make sure that it holds. And the whole process of skinning, what it does, it actually increases the strength and dexterity of it. So it's like, everything that's already strengthened with the piece and reinforced pieces, that becomes even doubly reinforced as well. So we have that. Again. The reason why I seal this up too is because the longer you have it open, the more it catches stuff. So you might catch if you don't have it sealed up, it's gonna catch hair and it's gonna catch a little. Depends on if you're outside, you catch trees and stuff like that. And you don't want to catch things in your work. It's gonna mess it up because this is one of those things where the more you have stuff, the more it's gonna kind of do it all around. So in a sense, you're making an airplane, but the airplane is called like masking tape. So you have the basic underguard, your there's nothing but masking tape. Okay, so that's simple. Now, my wife and I were talking about filling this up because this is going to be this sculpture might be actually an outdoor sculpture, but it has such power to it. It's so amazing. So let's get this down. Get this jammy. It's probably just going to work one set at a time, all the way down. But sometimes you look good here. So next is that. Reinforce your support and struts. Also, you wouldn't believe it, like having this much masking tape, it actually smells. It's kind of funny. It's like it didn't. I never noticed it before because I always use the small stuff, but now it's like when you have a big structure, it has a lot of masking tape. Take this, keep this later. There was a movie that they had Pitch Black with Vin Diesel, and there's the creatures, the bioraptors, and they are so they're so interesting, how it works. It's like because like the way they have like a head like this, so they also have the part of the head that goes up. So it's kind of like that. I'll make one of some photos to show you guys my own version of the bioraptors and stuff. See, I was thinking about the whole position of sitting here with my back to the street, and so pretty much it's so foreign to me. Actually, I usually sit with looking forward and see what's around me. But I said, at this time I have to sit with my back to the street because like the camera one is about 2, it's like it's out of the way. 3, it's like you have to just pretty much trust me. You got to turn your back to the ocean. I know you're never supposed to do that, but sometimes you just gotta do that. So here's where the support structures really need support, right? You have the head shape. So let's go reinforce that real quick. Reinforce the head shapes. Make sure this jaw is equal, otherwise you'll have a detached jaw. Jaw's flat. So when you see the ones I have already made, you have the head. This is actually the first dipple palace I ever made. I still have it, and so I got to give him another paint job. But for the most part, though, it's like here is how the mouth is going to be. And right now, I would sit down, look at the mouth. Look at the mouth right here, right? So this was like upside down. So to flip it over, it's like this. So you have it like that, right? So here you have like this one. This one's like the most recent one, the biggest one, and this one glows in the dark. Here's two versions of the same creature that I can make, but actually has a smaller, almost like a maquette, I'm using that little idea. So when I started drawing it, I made this. This is not the anatomically correct way you see in the Museum of Natural History. No, this is not it. This is actually one that I have made on the line. So it's actually fun to do this, again, it's just like something I'm doing outside. Nothing inside. Here you have it. See the whole head shape is so now. So you see definitely the head build up is only see because the masking tape is pretty significant. Now you see I figure it's gonna be like a lot of weight. You have rain and all the other stuff's gonna hit it. So we're gonna definitely go over it. It's tight. I might have to use the heat gun, which I said we're gonna use to make sure this is all good, but we just didn't make this. so I'm going to go as much as I can to see how much I can actually pull. Reinforcement. Change the camera. I'm gonna have it over here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So here. So I could see what's being done. So, all right. So. Zoom out. I probably can't. Hello. How you doing? You had a... How are you? Yeah, I'm just making some sculptures.
You doing a project?
Yeah, I'm making this big. So this into that. I have a big art project on Saturday, and they asked me if I could make a big creature. So I just said, let me go ahead and just give this a try and see how that works. And we'll also put it on YouTube.
But
So.
you be doing that. You did that yesterday. You started yesterday.
Uh-huh,
Right?
yeah, yes.
I thought I saw you yesterday doing like.
Yeah, this is I had just the bones part, just the basic bones on the flat level, and then so I started raising it up. So this is 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so in about a couple more hours, I'm gonna have all the skin on it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and harden it up. I'm gonna put some resin and things like that to make it harder. Oh, not harder, but Mod Podge
You
and things
just
like
out
that.
of tape?
Yeah, just tape, 100% tape. Just like these. These are all taped too.
Oh, tape was it?
Yeah, tape
You
too.
wanna touch it?
Yeah, they don't break. So I can make anything, animals, creatures. I can make your dog. You know, if you want me to, I can make your dog for you. Yeah, so if you want me to, I could actually do
But
that.
how, like, this is tape?
All tape.
All tape?
All tape.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's all we call just
I thought it was like a
no wire, no wire.
Yeah, like
yeah.
a wire, yeah.
Nope, just tape, all tape, straight tape. So that the tape becomes like a wire. It's like the more you wrap it, the more it becomes like a structure, you know. So you can actually.
And I gotta see when it's done.
Yeah, it's gonna look like this, but just bigger. Like one of these.
So how long is it gonna take you to get that done?
I hope to get it done today. Yeah, so I hope to get it done today because on Saturday I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna paint it in public, like in the street. So I'm just getting it ready. So I might, if I have time, I could probably make another one.
Where you gonna be at?
In Harlem. We're gonna be in Harlem.
Oh, in
Yeah,
Harlem?
148 in Harlem. There's a called Sugar Hills Sugar Hill something in Harlem. I don't know the name of it per se, but it's like I don't know exactly where it's, but it's 148th Street in Harlem from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This
And so
weekend?
yeah, this weekend on a Saturday. So the Saturday coming up. So there's gonna be so you know how there's like the night markets and stuff.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
well, we're this one here we're doing actually it's gonna be over in Harlem. This is gonna be a Harlem one, and gonna be a lot of different artists there as well. So they asked me if I could bring something. So here's my.
I wish you luck, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Okay,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Be safe.
Thanks, man.
See you around.
Yeah, man, God bless you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So what is that?
This is a Diplocallis. It's a hammerhead salamander. Just like these. So this is a hammerhead salamander. See, when you go to Museum of Natural History, there's one in the fossil wing, right on the fourth floor or third floor. I think it's either fourth floor. Probably third floor. Anyway, long story short, what happens is that there's a bunch of them, and so when I was a kid, I saw that, and it stuck in the back of my mind. And then I learned how to make stuff with cardboard, right? I was doing stuff with cardboard and all that stuff, and then one day I saw a guy. He was using masking tape to make stuff, and it blew my mind. I said, "Oh my word! All my life I used cardboard, Legos, aluminum foil. I used paper, you know." But when I saw masking tape, I said, "Oh my goodness!" So then I started mapping this out. So this is like a big version of this. So this is the same as this. So this is tail right there. So this is what I mapped it out, and then this is my procedures to kind of just set it up. So yeah, so I've been doing this for many years now, many years now, making this stuff. So I sell these. This is like how we pay our bills. But for the most part, though, this is something I do on the side to just kind of like well, I should pay our bills, but I do this like right now because it's so much fun. I enjoy doing this. You know, I had Legos and stuff growing up as a kid, and I still like it. You know, yes, this is pretty cool. Yeah, what do you like to make? What are your favorite things you like to make?
I like to, like do shoes.
Shoes? To make shoes?
No, then like design them.
Design shoes. Okay, that's awesome. You know, well, what kind of shoes have you designed?
So I've designed like white ones.
Uh-huh.
I made it into like a Spider-Man.
Mm.
And yeah, that's pretty much my first one.
Oh, cool. So yeah, so do you ever thought of making your own shoes from scratch, like all the way through, like from the shoe itself?
When I grow up, maybe, yeah.
You know, don't wait till you grow up. Start trying to figure it out now. I started making this stuff when I was a kid. I started doing this when I was like really like your age, younger than you, right? And so what I did was that I made so many things. Like here's like a bunch of my other stuff that I made. See, like this was. Yeah, you can touch it. They don't break. Yeah, you can touch it. They don't break. So I make like. See, I've always liked that. That's like a skull crawler from a King Kong. Dinosaurs and stuff too as well. So like yeah, I can make anything. Animals, creatures, people. So I do, and I just totally enjoy just making stuff. It's just a lot of fun, you know. And so.
What do you use to color it?
Oh, I use different paints. I use acrylic. I use acrylic paint as well as inks, acrylic paint, as well as I just sometimes I use a couple of like different things to seal it up. It's like Mod Podge is one I used to seal it up. But for the most part, my battery. I'm just oh goodness. So what happens is that yeah, so I use a couple of things to make sure that it stays put. But for the most part, though, it is it's very versatile. This is like wire. So if you can hold it, what happens if you bend it, right? You bend it, it becomes harder, and the more you bend it, the more it becomes. Oh goodness. The more you bend it, the more dexterity it becomes. So like for example, right there, it's flimsy, right? Okay, hold this there for a second. I gotta fix my tripod because it came undone. All right. So for example, if you take it and you just wrap it around itself like this, right? You take it and you fold it like like this, it becomes thicker and less flimsy. And the more you wrap it, the more like almost like a wire it becomes, right? So it's almost like see, it becomes rigid. So if you have like a lot on it, you can do things like this. This is a whole bunch of techniques that I've made. So this is a giant version of this one, right? And so, but this one's a little easier to make because it's like I use a few pieces of tape, whereas this one I have to kind of think the whole structure. It's like an engineering type thing. It's actually trying to figure out how to make it work. So you have like the whole engineering aspect of it. You have like the structures underneath that hold up the weight, and the material has to be able to support its own weight. Not to mention, if it's going to be a creature, it has to look like a creature. So it has to have all the accoutrements, the backbone, the rib cage, the body, the legs, the feet, the tail. Even the tail has to have like a bone structure, you know. Otherwise, what happens is that it doesn't stand. So, like for example, you can take it and fold it. You can make all kind of things with it. So once you fold the tape, right, and you have the tape folded, you can do. You can do all kind of stuff with it. So you just take more tape, and you can make really cool shapes. You know, like you can make another tape. And I do it so quick now. Actually, I taught classes, so it's like how to do this. It becomes like you can make anything. If you want to make like this little piece here, you can take that and you can put this here. You can make like a person, make like legs and a body. You can even make so it's like, for example, if you were to like do this, for example, you wanted to prototype like you want to prototype some of the shoes that you're making. You know, you can actually make the shoes, and then you can actually have it where the person is like that. So here I'm almost to a person now. You know, and so it's like, and it'll hold the shape. And masking tape is so durable that my wife and kids and I, what we did was that we tied one piece to our antenna of our car, and we drove from Pensacola, Florida. Like Pensacola, Florida is like the panhandle. It's like the handle of Florida, like the very, like the, you know, very like Florida's like this. Florida's like that, right? So if you go right here, we went to Pensacola, Florida, all the way back up to New York, and it's like 1,100 miles, right? And we tied this to our antenna, and it held. It didn't get damaged, it didn't get broken. It got a little rained on. It was during January too. We did like last year, and what happened was that it got rained on, it got snowed on, but it was like it didn't get destroyed. So then I was like, okay, you know what? This thing can handle weather. So this can handle rain and snow. So
I have one question. How did you make the eyes for this?
those eyes are resin. I had to actually buy I can see, like for example, with these eyes, right? I just painted the eyes, right? But then like this eyes, for example, I had to purchase the eyes for that one, right? Hello, hi everybody. And then hello, good evening. And then so happens is like this one here, I made these eyes. So this one I made, this one I made, this one I made, this one I made. This one I purchased, and this one has no eyes. And what happens is I had to actually have a thing called a liquid UV resin type thing, right? And what it does is that when you put it under ultraviolet light, it hardens. So if you form it to a shape, right? You have a shape, and then you form it up. And you form it up. Like for example, you put a bowl, and the bowl's like this, and you put water in it, the liquid in it, and you hit the ultraviolet light on it, it hardens up. And then after you take it out, and it keeps the shape. So it'll be like an eyeball. So that's what happened with these. I made the eyeballs, then I painted the eyeballs inside. Then after I attached it to its head. So this is like a Diplocalis, and this one glows in the dark too. So I made it with glow-in-the-dark paint. So that one's a lot of work to it. And see, it's like what you see when you see some of the little cracks and stuff. It's just like a little bit of like the wear and tear, but it's very durable. See, this thing can bend completely like that, you know. And it's like it could bend, and it's very flexible because it's built like the creature, you know. And be like, so it's built like the creature. So this is the very first one I made many years ago, and this is the most recent one I made. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have there. So I'm gonna give you this. This is like a little bit to say that this is kind of like the basic format. It's like a little basic person. It's not really that much to it, but if you add more stuff to it, you can actually add more details like fingers and toes and all that too. So it's all. This is not the 99 cents brand of a masking tape. This is expensive masking tape. This is like almost like $5 a roll, $5, $6 a roll for this. So what happens is that every time I make something, it's a little expensive, but I make a lot of money making this. I make a lot of money with each thing that I make. So I thank God for that, because that's like, it's fun to do something that you like to make. So when you make your shoes, right, in the future, you definitely you do something. It's better to make something. You do your own business and be your own business person than to work for somebody, because you work for yourself. But it's the best kind of thing to do is when you make something that you can like a book. You write a book or something. A book is better than if you a book is better than if you, because you write the book one time and you can sell it 1,000, 100 million times, you know. But if you do something, there's two types of work in life. There's your service, like either you go and you serve somebody in a job, or you make a product, right? So in this case, I do both a service and a product, because this is a product. But somebody asked me, "Can you make my dog?" And I said, "I can make your dog." "Can you make my cat?" "I can make your cat." "Can you make my grandmother?" "Yes, I can make your grandmother." "Can you make a Spider-Man?" "Mm-hmm." "Can you make a frog?" "Mm-hmm." "Can you make aliens, monsters from Aliens?" "I can do that." "How about a skull crawler from King Kong movie?" "I can do that too." And all the teeth and stuff. Just the teeth I made with the glue. So there's like puffy pink. It's like, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so you can make anything as long as you just, you know. But this is what the gift God gave me, and it's to show forth His glory. So every time God gives you a gift, it's to show His glory, that He gave you this glory. So you turn it back to Him and says, "God gave me this gift." You know, God is the one who is worthy. You know.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. My name is Greg. I'm One Life Must Art on Instagram. If you have Instagram, One Life Must Art. So I'll give you my card, so you can see all my stuff that I have on Instagram. Yeah, and if your parents want like something too, they want me to like make something for them. You know, just kind of here's. I make like all kind of creatures and stuff too. Or
Have a good day.
you too now. Take care now. God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good day. Battery's running low. I gotta switch the camera. I know I have to switch the thing now. So let me just go ahead and take the opportunity to plug this jammy in. Yep, there it goes. Gotta put this way. And now you gotta put it on top of that because you got people asking questions about stuff that they want to know. So I'm gonna put this way. Alright, so this way. I gotta go switch the camera real quick. So this is here. Okay, so here, Megan. Alright, so see, let's let the indicator know where the battery's going. Okay, good. So with that, let's proceed. Okay, let's see we have that. How are you?
The library's closed.
What? It's closed?
Library's closed.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's up to time.
Alright, cool. The door's open.
Okay. That big hill's we're coming.
Hill's no joke. I have your chair. I have my own chair, but is that what? All right. I'll pay for it. All right, so we have. I was thinking about that thing I seen in Picasso, about how he had the drawing and the lady asked him for the drawing and stuff like that, and you know he did that drawing and he asked for a large amount of money for it, and it was like, you know, it's like. Makes you wonder because he said, you know, the thing was like the work took 40 years for me to master this, so I did it relatively quickly. Doesn't mean that it wasn't hard to do. It was actually very difficult to do. It took you years and years of experience to be able to figure out how to make it all happen. So it's not like you just kind of you know one day you can do it so quick because it's so easy, but years of training. Can you imagine honing your skills and stuff? This took a lot of years to learn how to do, by the way. It's just like, I remember when I started making my first ones for work, people at work, it was so much fun because I would ask my coworkers, because we were doing inventory at a hardware store, I'm not going to say the name, but what happens was you have it where in that place, we were working overnight, and the idea just dawned on me. I remember just the first time, it was like, we had blue tape, and I started looking at the blue tape stuff, and I was like, blue tape doesn't work so well. I mean, there's people who use blue tape and they swear by it, but I am not a blue tape person. I do not use blue tape well. Blue tape is not my friend. Blue tape is, there's a guy, I'll give a shout out to my friend Tapagami and tape art people. Actually more like tape art is my friend, and they've given me such ideas about stuff. And I tried to do one of the things that he did, and it really worked out really well on my back wall. I made a giant sculpture, but you got to take it down because blue paint is just like every other paint. You can't leave it up there forever. If you do, well then you're gonna have a problem because it will take the paint off the wall. So yeah. And this paint, the inventor, he first created it for the aspect of protecting cars, keeping cars from becoming damaged by way of the paint, because before it used to be like sandpaper and stuff, and the adhesive on the back of sandpaper. But what happened was for this one, what made it better and significant was this is cool. All right, so significant was the fact that it was the adhesive was able to come off and not damage the paint, So this is a fun thing to do. Yeah, if you want me to teach a class, please let me know, because I would gladly teach a class for you. I've done class teaching at different museums, and I really enjoyed it. I hope to do it again as many times as possible, 1,000 times if possible, because it's teaching is so much fun, This is one thing when you teach something you don't know or you're talking speculative, but this is something I know, so thank God for it. Thank God for this this opportunity to be able to make stuff like this. Is the tape still going on? See, that's the thing. I don't know if it's still recording. So every so often I have to go and check it. I wish there was a way, like a little red button or something, to let me know that it's still working. So I'm gonna have to just go over there and check it every so often to make sure that it is still recording, right? Oh, battery's running low. There you go. That could be a reason. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call my kids to give me back. Okay, so give me a moment. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. While the camera is getting fixed up, I'm going to keep working. I still have the recording going. Let me check the live. Just make sure the live is still on. Yep, the live is still on. Okay, cool. So I'm here. Alright, cool. Hi, Lukey. I'm on live on YouTube.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's still building it.
Yeah, I started putting some more of the cool stuff on it and stuff too as well. You know? And then, yep. Hey, Annie.
In on it?
No, I started forming it up some. See, all the
Oh.
yeah. All the things.
What about the things?
Oh, I'm on live YouTube right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I told Titus to get me some batteries because my battery ran out on this.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm gonna just I'm gonna keep going with that until it turns over the batteries. But how was your trip?
It's good.
Good. Got some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on live on YouTube, so just be mindful.
She's great.
Oh, she's red. Yeah. You got it, Taylor?
I only got one.
There's in the bottom of the bag. There's 100. Bottom of the bag. There's 100. I need 4. I don't need 1. I need 4.
Have to go down to
I
the bottom.
can't leave all this stuff. Yeah. You have to go to the bottom of the bag.
Yeah.
She's red. Alright, I'll be here. Alright, so it's our turn tonight.
Now the back, baby.
Okay. It'll be all day date with you, baby. Alright.
Keep hitting my plants.
Not me. But I think your plants are in the way.
No, you're making.
I didn't hit your plant.
Yeah. Well, I drained them fell down onto the green pepper.
Uh-oh. One of them ragamuffin children. Alright, let's see, so. Let's see. I don't mean that. Alright, so. I let my kids. So here goes this one. So, alright, so the basic bone structure. So this is what the basic bone structure looks like on the Museum of Natural History one. It actually looks like this with the eyes. If you look at and actually this is the size. This is the actual size of a Diplodocus in real life. I mean, based upon the full size one. So I'm actually making a full size Diplodocus. I'm glad I decided to make an elephant. Let me tell you. All right, so an elephant would have been, could do it. It could do it. Maybe I'll do that if I have another trip. Somebody asked me to do it. I'm actually make an elephant or something. I mean, like a full size elephant. Wouldn't that be crazy? It would be crazy. Take a lot of rolls of tape. So far, I'm only on my second roll of tape, and this is what we have so far. So let me see. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up this jamming. It's all cool. See, I had to sit down this time because yesterday, man, I stood for the whole time, and it did me damage. It really did. I went home. I was like, my back. So for the most part, though, here it is. This is so cool. And see, this is gonna. You see that? You see how strong? Oh my lord! You see how strong and dexterous this thing is? Big strong neck. You got 4?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I wonder if I can find anything in that bag of that mess.
Take it in. Thank you. It's 6:13. Alright, so right now it's 6:13. Alright, so now I have to there. Reset this up here. This is my other camera. See, if I don't have this here, I won't be able to have my other viewpoint. So I have my viewpoint over there, and so I'm just trying to do a time lapse of this. And so it's kind of hard to do a time lapse on a live video. So, and I could download this video later and all that, but for the most part, though, it's really better when you actually have another camera. You know. So let's set this up. It's a pretty big piece of stuff, though. I guess. Look at that big picture. They love it. Look at this. Sweet machine.
Sí, sí, trabajar. Lo que pasa es que se acuerda que tenía que por irresponsables. Que había días que venía, días que decía, no puedo trabajar.
Start. Okay, record. Great. The Museum of Natural History, if you're looking for people to design anything for you, please contact me. I would love to work for you. You know, I go there since I was a kid, you know, and always just enjoyed the whole aspect of it all. And so I could sculpt all day long and play. Like when I was a kid, right, I just got into the whole sculpting thing was because my sister, she showed me about like some of the cool stuff that we can do in terms of art, you know. And so what happens is like my take on this whole thing was I just loved how art worked. My older sister really had a great impression on my life, you know. She was really a good example to me in terms of like just, you know, following your dreams and everything. And so she was one that got me involved in the whole thing with dinosaurs and, you know, so like that she and my mom. And so these are, whenever I make a creature, it's always a good memory, you know, in terms of like how these things work, you know. So I'm very much so happy to be able to make something that's cool, you know, and also like it was like some of the things I remember seeing when I was a kid, the dinosaur stuff. What made it so cool was that they were so big and ominous and just big bones, and I've always liked that feeling, the feeling of awe, you know, and the feeling of like this is such a cool thing, like, you know, being next to, I so want to go swim next to a whale or something, and it probably is not a good idea. If someone said that whales can kill you just by clicking you with their sonar. But I mean, maybe the dolphin doesn't hurt you so much. But I mean, still, it's good hurt you. Too much work goes to definitely hurt you. Like with people. But anyway, long story short, you know, you have those things where I would so love to be able to swim next to, or in a boat next to, those giant whales, you know, that are in the ocean. That's so cool. Because something about deep water just totally messes me up in my brain. It's just like, it's just so deep. There's so much of it, so much mass. You can't even pick it up. You know, you have to scoop it. And that's like a little bit of ocean, you know, you have in your hand. But when you have it, like, you know, you go to a thing where, you know, you have it where you have deep water, and deep water is like, so what, 95% of the earth is unexplored, of the waters are unexplored. So there could be all kind of things living out there, all kind of creatures, you know, that no one's ever seen, you know. Definitely not an amphibian, because I was just saying before yesterday, the amphibians don't live in the ocean. They live in, they're freshwater creatures. But all the reptiles and sea monsters, the krakens and things. Oh my goodness, it'd be so cool to see that. You know? I would so think it'd be great. And so Anyway, so I just want to say, you know, if you want to give me a super chat, you can do that. You know, super chats. You know, I'd love that. That would help me to, you know, another source of income. You know, and so I've been doing this stuff for a while, but you know, it's up to you what you want to do. But nevertheless, I am just so excited just to be able to be part of this thing on Saturday. I've been following Mr. Andy Golub for some time, since 2011. We started doing his body paint stuff in Times Square. And so I think he started, I'm not sure if he started before that, but I remember in 2011, I saw him at Occupy Wall Street. I also saw him before that in Times Square. And his work was like painting people in the nude with you know, body paints and stuff like that. And that was such an intriguing thing for me because I was like, you know, dude, that's awesome, you know? That's awesome. Right, so, yeah, I've been in several of his events, and we became friends, and we're really good friends now. Thank God for being able to meet with him. And we talk. We have some really good conversations. Like, you know, you have a friend that you don't talk to. Well, I mean, we actually talk a lot, and we talk. I can't tell you the stuff we talk about, but for the most part, we've had many good conversations about stuff. And I was glad to be invited to this event. So it's actually you know, an honor for me. So that's why I'm doing this sculpting right here, right now, because I was asked to make something big. You know. I thought about making a person, I really did. I thought if I made a person would be really good to make, but then I thought, you know, look how big this thing is, right? See how big this diplocaulus is right here? But this is like a lot of fun to do and great for me. But imagine you have to walk around with a masking tape person. I mean, you'd have to kind of position that person somewhere, and you gotta give it clothes, you know, and you gotta take up some space in your house or in the car. And you can't like put it on the roof. People are like, oh, you have a person on the roof. You know, no, that's not a person, it's just masking tape. You know? Having to explain, it's like, no, it's not real, it's not a real officer, it's not a real person. It's made a masking tape. Yeah. And you start thinking all those doll maker movies, you know, scary doll maker movies. But that's another thing. I try to think of that when I make stuff, you know. I think that scary doll maker things, you know. Nope. What I make happy things, happy art. I make happy art. So that's something that I just totally enjoy making. And this here, so right here, just kind of working from the head to his tail. So that's pretty cool. I'm so glad to sit down this time. Actually, standing up was crazy. Stand up was crazy. I don't know what because I was going to stand up the whole time. I thought if I do this again, if I make another creature like this, I'm definitely going to be sitting down. I'm going to sit down. Man, my back was like, oh. Anyway, so let's talk about more stuff. So yeah, so my sister, she was an inspiration to me, and so she helped me out a lot of things. She was got me to understand about dinosaurs, and my love for dinosaurs came from my sister going to museum first with her school, and then she kind of put me onto it. You know, you never know. I mean, the power in brothers and sisters. You know, I mean, that's something. That's amazing. You know, I only had I had one older sister, and I had two younger sisters, and they're still alive. Everybody's still alive, praise God. But for the most part, they were just like, you know, we're so far away from each other now. It's just like, in terms of distance, you know. But also, I guess in terms of sometimes, you know, just our different philosophies and stuff. We're not too far away. I can't talk to you too much about family business and stuff, but I can just tell you a little bit about like just, you know, growing up. I really admired my sisters, and I love them a lot. I wish we were closer a little bit, and that's, you know, you see, you can fix that. You can really fix that. Just go ahead and just do that, you know. Just go do it. So, what happens is this. So we're looking at this fella here. You're seeing it come to fruition. You see how it goes from the back of it and stuff like that, how it's starting to form up. All masking tape. Very lightweight, but durable. Okay, so. Alright, so now let's see. I'm going to fix up his bottom jaw. That way his bottom jaw can actually have a mouth part, you know? I mean, you know what it's going to look like. You know it's going to pretty much look like one of these. It's going to look like this when it gets done, you know? Or that. But for the most part, it's just a bigger version of it, you know? It's a cool creature. God makes cool creatures, man. God makes amazing things that are so complex. You know, they're trying to do the AI stuff and then the whole AI drawing things. And what happens is that, I want you to know, if you give me a super chat, I can't see it. If you can't write me a message, I can't see it because I have my camera over there and I'm just over here, so I can't really see anything. I'll have to look it over later and respond that way. But if you want to write something, you can. This is something I just totally, I think it's such a cool thing, because the more you work with it, the more you try getting ideas. And it's just, it really starts to take form. It's just, look at this thing. at this. So cool. Alright, so I mean, even though we know what it looks like, it's still amazing when it comes to fruition. Then when we paint this sucker, oh my goodness, it's gonna be great. So we have that there. This is like motion. The granddaddy. It's the biggest thing I made. I think the other thing I made that was close was the face hugger, the queen face hugger. Aliens. I wonder about the tail. Why the tail is like this? Well, I had the tail to curl, so that's why it's like that. If you wouldn't think, right, that this is actually a masking tape with complete sculpture, and as you're kind of working it, so it becomes better and better and stronger and stronger. I might just actually seal up its head because I'm saying like why not, right? Just kind of seal up the head socket. Sockets there to complete the complete procedure. Probably add some raised one. Give it some more. See, the bigger it is, the more details you can actually give it. So it's actually so there it is. Seal up the eye. There it is. You definitely put some ideas what I could make. You know that family friendly ideas that I could make with masking tape art and stuff. Because in all honesty, it's one of those things where you can definitely make a lot of cool stuff. And I enjoy making it, but I don't like making stuff that's bad. I'm not gonna make anything that's bad. Anything of sexual nature. I'm definitely not gonna make any politicians. I made Bernie once, and that was kind of fun. But I'm not gonna make him again. Well, I mean, maybe I could, but it's like for the most part that because in mittens. Okay, I'm not making them in their prime. These politicians, I don't know what kind of people they are, but they're doing a lot of damage to mankind. It's like the thing about it, people in power, there's something there. I don't want to get into a whole tirade about that, but it really is like the only one who should have power is God. We should probably be a theocracy where we just kind of worship God. And usually, whatever causes trouble, it's not really God who causes the trouble. It's really people who cause trouble. People try to enforce God's rules, not God's way. They start getting really kind of crazy with stuff. And that's where it gets kind of messed up. So I mean, it's one thing where it's like the most loving thing a person can do is tell a person the truth. It really is. Tell a person the truth. Because if you don't tell somebody the truth, then the person's going to go around thinking that everybody loves them and they currently stay. But the best thing to do is tell a person the truth. So this is not good. I just thought for a second, maybe I'm not even on. Let me just check and see. I'm still on. Oh my word, I am still on. Okay, so that's 54 minutes. All right, cool. All right, so cool. Let's see, hopefully by the end of today's sculpt thing, I'll be able to do the whole skin, have all the skin completed. Because I don't want this open in the house anymore. I want this thing to be closed up. I don't want anybody's like hair from their head or their elbows fall into this thing. So if you seal it up, there will be no more sticky sides. So it will be sealed on one side. So just seal it. Alright, make sure the eye sockets are all closed up. Close up the eye sockets there. We're going to work from head to toe. But that's how you're made, actually. You're made from head to toe. Little secret, when I make this stuff, I always start with the head. Okay, just let you know. That's when you do that. I mean, in this case, when I actually start with the bones, I actually had a different thought in mind how I was going to do this, but it's like it just came out this way, and this way is actually efficient. Pretty efficient. We'll see how it comes out when it's completed. I always wondered but I just wondered right now, actually, how many like pieces of tape have I torn off? I mean, like you understand how long each tape roll is. Accordingly, it's about, I don't know. Actually, I don't really know. Actually, look it up. But I really don't know. But if you know how long it is, you have to determine how many tears have I done since I started. You see this? See how intense it is? You know, if a salamander this big came up to attack you, it would hurt you. It would hurt you really badly. And you wouldn't know where to punch because it's like the bony head is really kind of bony. It's really strong bony head. Like, so it would be like, come after you. Maybe like, ouch. But I guess the eyeballs would be sticking out. You'd be like, oh, stab in the eye. You gotta wonder, why would the creature come to attack you is the answer. Did you mess with its habitat? Did you try and mess with its area? Is that what happened? Is that the reason why this creature's coming after you? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe that's the reason. For the most part, though, you have it where this is some of the things that you think about in terms of like how life works. This is a very cool creature. This is over there. It's got this area. Oh. So see, there you have it. So you have this first part there, up to the shoulder blades. You gotta go more so to get the rest of it. So I'm gonna do that. I might not talk so much because talking takes so much energy. But I know you guys love to hear my voice. So I'm talking about timeline player. If you can hear my voice from Blues. Yep. You're loud, you know. I don't know. I always wonder, like, the people who do news analysis and stuff, they have a pretty difficult thing to do because they have to kind of every day look up the news and then determine what's true or not. And from there, being able to determine what they're going to be able to share or what can get their channel in trouble, you know? I was going to do news analysis. I thought it might be actually a cool thing to do. But I started thinking, like, the reason why I'm not is because news analysis is, it's something about it. It just takes away from your soul. So you have to go through all this work and all this career to do stuff, and for the most part, though, you're trying your best not to have your soul be taken from you. All those things of work about trying to tell people the bad news all the time. It's actually kind of fun to tell people the good news. Sometimes, just to be honest, I think about some things in terms of like, what's the most important thing in life? Is it money as well? Is it, what are some things that make you successful? Consider yourself to be so successful. I know I used to be a taxi driver. I'd ask people that question. So how do you determine success? What's your definition of success? And some people would say like being able to have enough. Some people say being able to go where I want, do what they want to do. It was really cool, just to be able to talk to people as a taxi driver. I think New York City is such an interesting place. It is. There's a lot of negatives and stuff, but there's a lot of positives too. And one of the positives I think is what's cool is that you can actually make people and stuff. It's a pretty cool thing to do. Be able to meet people and talk with them in the streets about anything. You can talk to people about anything here in New York. So I just think it's amazing that you can meet people, talk to them. Not to mention you can actually be inspired. You can meet your future spouse here. I met my wife here in New York. We had all the kids here in New York. But I was an open air preacher. I used to preach the gospel in the streets in Manhattan, Times Square. And so what happened was that my wife, we stayed in New York. We were trying to raise support as missionaries. We weren't able to, unfortunately. That was a sad thing for us because we really wanted to do the ministry. But God has different plans, you know. God had different ministry involved for us. Ministry was to meet people differently, you know. And this came a long way out. This one came along. This whole design thing, making cool features and stuff. It's pretty significant. It's a pretty cool thing. I think about how, again, I think everybody's born with a talent to give to the world. And it's really cool to be able to make something that's really amazing that people like. I mean, I get amazed by just watching this. I'm really excited about the fact that this is like turned out so good and lovely. And this is my first time trying this size, you know? First time trying this size. Because it's like, this is something that's just, you know, pretty huge structure, you know? Maybe you should put like candy inside just so the kids can come and beat it up, you know? Maybe candy will fall out when you hit it. And the only problem is that this doesn't break when you know when you hit it with stuff. So it's like it's very durable. So the kids will be like beating this thing all day long, trying to break it open, trying to get the candy out. And they'd be like, no. It's like, you keep up with that pinata yet? It's like, yeah, I can't get through. You're like, put on the side of this thing. It'd be funny. Put it for 5 seconds. You like realize, oh man, this is like so sad. You can't get the pinata open. We got this one. Okay, so can't get the pinata open. You know, so it's like here. So New York. So anyway, so New York, where we had our kids, and we had our kids in all the hospitals here. And the kids, we were homeschooling kids here. Oh, no, subscription me. All right, so. One of my wishes I was to have like, a really nice house, a big land area, and I would have a full-size house. I'd have like the same house or something, not like the big one that's tall and talking and stuff. I'd have one that's the one that's leaning over on the 3rd floor, which is National Street. That would be the coolest thing to make that. And I think it would be such an awesome thing because you know it'd be cool to have like your own like moat and all that with your own crocodiles in it. But you know if you can't have real crocodiles. The best thing is to have some fake crocodile that you made out of masking tape. You know, so that's pretty cool too. So you can have that. That'd be awesome. But I mean, it'd be cool to have like some woods. Have some woods. It'd be cool to have not only woods, but to have like a property where you can have like deer and different animals on it. And I'm thinking, at first I was thinking maybe like in the tropical zones and all that. Even though I was born in the Caribbean. I grew up here, so I'm very accustomed to the weather here in New York and this region. Someone said the best weather. I think it was Jesse Keller who said the best weather was is here in the northeast coast, which is where we are. here in New York. And he said the best weather because it's not too straight up. Like, you don't have to have air conditioning all the time. Just a couple months during the summer. And then you have snow you deal with, and usually actually more snow. It's like every season is actually like quite balanced here, you know. So you actually have a real good thing going here in New York in terms of weather. You know, many people who have left, many friends who left during the pandemic to go to different states, they had to deal with the Florida heat or the Texas humidity and heat wave. Shout out to all my friends who went there. They went to Texas and to Florida. Yeah, we stayed. We couldn't go. We couldn't go, so we had to stay and make do what we have here. You know? For the most part, though, it's one of those things where, you know, just like I look back and I say to myself, man, what would it have been like to actually leave? You know, it's like let's leave New York. I mean, maybe come in a day, you know, we have to actually leave New York. But right now, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you just as you're working and stuff, you're saying, man, I really like New York. It's a cool place. We'll give it another over the top. Reinforce. So this is the tail, this is the backbone of the tail, this is the kernel of the tail. Spike. Tomorrow we're going to be busy all day. We have this thing called the cooperative for homeschoolers. And so what it means is that as homeschoolers, you know, other homeschool families come together. They teach. They get to share stuff, you know, share information and time together. Not to mention other kids get a chance to play with other kids, you know. Because, like, you know, back in the day when first things were first, how everything was that families would raise their own kids. And families would be big families, you know? So it's like I'm really glad having 4 children, and they've been really cool. Sometimes people have like one kid, and it's really tough for them, but because they gotta be like the kids, like the big brother and sister and dad and all that. You know? But when you have like, for example, you have your own kids, and your kids get to be their own friends. You know, like when I grew up in the house with 4. There's 4 of us all together. I had 3 sisters, and I was the brother. So my kids, I have 2 boys and 2 girls. So I have a son and a daughter and a son. So I have 2 of each. And with that, they have a good ties, good bonds. You know? I have to check every so often to make sure that the camera's still working because I don't want to be talking to myself. You know? I mean, do that too. Alright. Easy man here. Alright, so we have 1 hour. Just here talking. I wonder if I'm even in the frame. Is my head in the frame? I guess maybe it is. Hey, come here. Get up here. So. Alright, so my some of this video as soon as I got to where I'm on recording. Once into a 30. So yeah, so pretty much what's going on is we have so many things are transpiring right here, right now, in terms of like making this creature. I'm so like happy to be making this. This is like so much. yeah, so pretty much this is coming along pretty nicely. Yeah, so I'm almost finished with this. So what I have here is just to keep going. See if you see right here? This is like the tail. The tail is like so cool. You know, pretty cool with that. So hello, how are you? How are things?
Good.
I'm doing good. I'm making a YouTube video right
Huh?
here. So I'm making a YouTube video of me making this creature.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a thing on Saturday I'm going to be doing, and so they asked me to make something big. So I made
Okay, so what is that?
So this is a Diplocaulus. It's like this, but it's a really big version of
Oh boy.
this. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So I'm on live on YouTube right now. Like live. Hey, everybody,
Okay.
hey the world. So right there. And here's my other camera there too as well. So I can, like,
Lord.
yeah. Yeah. So pretty much. Yes, I'm just in the process of just kind of putting together all the skin on this. So yesterday I was making all the bones part because I mapped it out. Hello. Hi, how are you?
So you're making the skins now?
Yeah, so I'm going to add the next layer of it too as well in a little while as well. Hi, how are you? Hello. This is the tail part I'm making now. Okay, cool. Thanks for looking. I appreciate it. So yeah, so pretty much this is, yeah. So this is my second roll of tape right here. Second roll of tape, and it's like pretty much.
You can't buy tape like that. You have to buy a whole box of tape.
Yeah, I did. I bought a thing, and then but this is just two. It's just two of these.
Oh.
You know, this is not. Just imagine and I'm almost finished too. I got the inner part, just the little part here. The right here is already finished, and the face.
Oh.
Yeah, see how big it is. So we're gonna paint it after that. It's gonna be one of those big sculptures, you know.
Oh, okay.
Details to it, the tail. So it's like this. So this is exactly what it is. Small, but it's much bigger. This was the first one I ever made. It's the first one I ever made too.
Oh.
Yep, the first one. Diplocaulus. Hammerhead salamander. Yeah.
You have a lot of time.
Yeah. I guess I have my neighbors real quick. I'll be right back. For a second, let me just. Hey, dude.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh,
Good. It looks much bigger now, see? Much bigger.
That's why you were working in it.
See you. Yeah, so I'm almost done. So thank you. Why do I make the little colors? I might have said it yesterday, but I'll say it again. Little color starts off in water, gets on land. These are extinct fossilized amphibians that got fossilized in the water. When the water pressure changed or the Noah flood, it meant a different life for them. Because we're not sure if there's any that's alive today. But based upon the fossil record, the fossil record doesn't belong to only the scientists. It belongs also to everyone. If you find a fossil of ammonite or any shell, it's testimony to the wrath of God. God pours out wrath upon man when man continues to sin against God. That's one. And so Diplocaulus, what it represents to me is two lives: a life before and a life after. A life of people that are, when you first start off in life, you start off as a normal person, and you have a chance to become a different person. You start off, you're born one way, and you could die a whole different way. But for the most part, that when you're born one way, you are not sure exactly where you're going to end up or what you're going to do. And so what happens in the case of the Diplocaulus, it starts off in water, and then it grows, starts off as an egg, and then it grows to become a tadpole. And then from tadpole becomes a four-legged creature that can live on land and in water. And amphibian means double life. So when a person is born into this world, you start with one life. And Jesus said, unless somebody is born again, they cannot enter the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven. So you have it where you have, in the case of a Diplocaulus, or in the case of these amphibians have two lives. One life is, they can't stay in the water forever, and they can't stay on the land forever. But they were made to be living on the land. Eventually they go back to the water to have their children, with their children. They also have the same choice. They can choose to stay in the water, I guess, if they want to. Like a newt, or like a salamander or something. Salamanders. But for the most part, every one of them has to leave the water and go on land and do the terrestrial things, the land type of stuff. To go and forage and find food and live a new life and have new adventures. And you can't do that in the water. The water has its own ventures. The water has its own situation. The water has its own troubles. The land has its own troubles too. Almost to the finish line. I gotta check the cameras to see if the camera's still working, so let me just go back.
Señor, pongas lindos, Bonito, ¿sí ves?
Camera? Again, the camera's messed up. difference? You guys keep on a full day? Okay, why not? Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so down to the last part of this here. Well, I mean at the underside and here. See how fast how long it takes me to do this, okay? I'm gonna go as quick as I can and talk a little bit less. Yeah, whatever. So, you believe that? I got a bridge to sell, yeah. Brooklyn Bridge. I heard the Frank Sinatra song, Brooklyn Bridge, first time in my life. Over the Brooklyn Bridge. That's a pretty cool song. I was doing some driving the other day. You know, when you drive by yourself, you get to listen to the radio and stuff. Because you can't really do stuff on your phone because your phone's being used as your money value to get money when you're driving. So what happens is that when I'm there doing this, it's like I have this opportunity to just kind of listen to the radio. And heard Frank Sinatra. It was also giving a shout out to Harry Belafonte, you know, to him, and for the stuff that he did. You know. And I think he was a cool guy. I mean, just based on the music, but I don't really know him. I know everybody's weird. You have people that are cool and people that are weird. So everybody's weird until you're sure that they're cool. You know, for the most part, you're absolutely sure that they're cool. All right, so working on your bottom. You know, when I do any of this work on any of the stuff, it takes the same amount of precision, by the way. It's like all the stuff, everything I make, it's just a lot of time and a lot of energy to make it. I think I'm supposed to be an engineer. I really think so. I don't think it's too late to be an engineer, but I think really my underlying repertoire of everything that I'm doing is engineering. It's a basic structure based upon another structure, based upon, sound principles of making stuff. And I really just, I guess maybe that's what paleontology does to you. When you look at paleontology, you study about the bones and how bones fit together, you know? Now, I may not be the best in terms of everything, but at least you've seen what I'm doing. You're seeing that I can actually make something that at first was just an idea on a flat piece of paper into 3D. That in of itself is something. I take requests, If you guys have any requests for me to make stuff, I will gladly make stuff, as long as it's not bad. Bad being anything that's, anti-biblical, anything that's, I don't want to make. I made angels before, but I don't make biblically accurate angels. I'm having a hard time with the whole thing of making Hellboy. I'm thinking of making one, but I'm like, well, I don't know. Is he really a demon? He is a demon for another dimension, sent to oppress people. Looks like his horns have been shaved off his head. I don't know, but that's one of those things I kind of think about. Because, I watched a movie the other day with the kids, and the kids loved it. We watched the second one first. I thought the second one was pretty cool. But the first one was like, was where it's at in terms of intensity, The first one was like intense. Samuel. It was a cool movie. We watched Puss in Boots, the Last Wish one. That was actually cool. I watched it twice. I watched it with the kids and I watched it with Ames. Because I have a movie night with the kids, and so we watch a movie with myself, the kids, and then we watch it together. Sometimes it depends on how it is, because kid movies are not what they used to be, by the way. It's like they're all different now. Everything's different. But for the most part, though, when you have a scenario where the world and how the world is, it's crazy. My next step on this was probably going to be to do some sealing on it. Or I might do another layer on top, just make sure it's all seamless, so there's no things in between to mess it up, So when I'm coming down to the last part, it's got the underside. At the underside, got the tail. Put this one over. James was telling me I should probably put something inside of it, keep it from collapsing. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it kind of the shape itself holds the shape itself. It's kind of like it's very. You see, it has a give and take to it. It's all pushing against it. It's like how your body doesn't collapse. I mean, because your bones are pretty good. But so if you can have more than one kid, have more than one kid. I'm fine. Having kids and like brothers and sisters and stuff. So it's pretty significant to have brothers and sisters and everything because they're your first bullies. Your first bullies are your brothers and sisters, and you learn about life, a lot about life through them. I hope to get this done today. I'm almost there. If I run out of tape, a roll of tape. Okay, so yeah, I'll tell you more about there's so many things to talk about, but Andy was cool meeting him, and then being able to work with him, and the whole body paint thing. It's been a cool thing in my life. I think it's interesting, painting humans, and it's with temporary paint. I can't do the whole permanent, tattoo thing. I just can't do it. The reason is not because I make a mistake. I mean, yeah, I could make a mistake, but the thing is, like, I feel so you shouldn't scar your body. Your body is, spray paint. So, I mean, it's like, I think you can do temporary art. That's just my opinion. In terms of stuff. But, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, the artwork and stuff, but I don't think it should be permanent. I think it should be one of those temporary things, As time goes on, you just kind of, move it, and then you do another one, do something else. And I think that there's so many artists out there who do so many cool work. Some people who do a lot of cool things, and I really admire the fact that they're able to do such great works, and it's temporary. See, my stuff here, it's pretty permanent. When you get done making a different color, I'm gonna have to polish for like forever. Okay, once I give it away, this is gonna be with me forever. I thought about actually tying one to my car and having this on the hood of my car, and or having it tied to the roof or something, and driving down with it, get it down and we walk. All right, so I am almost there. Let me see. I have so much stuff here. Okay, so I'm down to the last portion of it. They have this little area right here. Right. Kids would say down to the buck. All right, so. Let me do this one. Alright, so almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Once upon a time, somebody asked me to make a mask for them. I made a mask for them, and then later saw that same mask I made for them in the trash. And that did all kinds of stuff to my heart. It really did. It made me feel really sad. And then so much that I should have confronted the person on that I'm making a mask for them. And I said no. And I wondered about that, like why I said no, because it would mean like, so when I saw it in the trash, I took it out of the trash. I brought it home. When I brought it home, I gave it to another friend of mine who really appreciated it. So it was almost as if the one who didn't appreciate it got given to one who did appreciate it. Because you know what happens? Like, see, the thing is, like with us artists, we're not just making it. We're giving of our time and our soul. This is part of our once in a lifetime, one life most art existence. And when you give somebody like artwork or something that you made. It's significant because you are giving them something that you can never make again in the same dexterity, same way, ever again. So, when you think about that, how this is not just a piece of masking tape and twisting and folding, it's a piece of someone's life, that they dedicated to give to you for a specific purpose, That's why I think maybe like temporary art, you know, like a body painting. It's significant because you're making connections with people. When you make like a permanent art, like a tattoo, that's you remember your artist, you remember the tattoo person who did it. You make a sculpture for me. It's significant because it's like we went to a restaurant today, and the waiter, I made something for the waiter there a long time ago, and they remembered me. You know, they remember me. Hi, good to see you. They remember me, and they had the family. They remember all the details, and they were asking me how my family was doing. You know, because it took a moment to make something really cool. Have a good day. So I'm almost to the end. Almost to the end. See, before, remember how the wind was taking it? Now the wind's not taking it. The wind's not so here I have this. So I'm gonna go out and drive tonight, so I might have to be like, just get done soon, but it's getting dark as you can see. It's getting dark in terms of time. But yeah, so back to what I was saying before, this is something that you make, and it means something. I might give it another coat, just kind of go over, give it a second coat all over, just to make sure that the body is not only sealed, but that the body is reinforced, because you don't want any cracks between, you know, you don't want any cracks between. Now, I don't know the kind of tail they have, but I decided to make this like some kind of a fin type tail, because, I mean, like, why not? You know, so the kind of tail I'm thinking of is like the tail of like of some kind of a swimming creature. So obviously a swimming creature. And in the video I'm gonna make for this one, when you see it, you're gonna see that I have another nipple house that I already made that like these guys here. So I'm gonna kind of follow that kind of procedure to see how it makes. But I'm almost to the end of this, so let me just see if there's any parts that need to be reinforced. Yeah, making this thing here. Okay. Have a good day. Okay, let's flip it over and see if there's any spots I missed. Yes, right here. All right here. So area. Last part. Okay, so let's just seal it up. Go back over and let's call it quits for the let's go for tonight. Every time I make sit there and have to make squirrels, giant squirrels, right? I know. There's a guy making squirrels in the park, Mom. There's a guy making squirrels in the park. Could be cool. Squirrels and pigeons. New York City, squirrels and pigeons. There's an artist who does that. She makes all these cool papers. Paper birds and stuff. Hey, here you go. And so she makes all these cool papers and birds and stuff, and I'm just like totally like overwhelmed by how cool it is. My kids call them rock doves. I'm like, those things are stinking pigeons. They're like no, they call them rock doves. Rock doves, yeah. Call them rock pigeons. Rock doves. Who names such a smelly, disgusting bird? But anyway, so the thing is that she makes some really cool art from them. And I guess that's pretty much it. Did I seal it up? Oh yeah, I can't seal up. See that? Why is it sealed up? Yeah, let me just, I gotta see there's a little seams between them, so let me seal up the seams. Get this thing coated on. Put the seams and get it sealed up. Boom. Boom. So, alright, so I am nearing the end. I'm about to call it quits for the night, and thank God for the opportunity to be able to do this, and it took a lot less time. So yeah, so see how big this creature is. I gotta do the posture, and make sure the postures are all good. Oh my goodness, look at this mouth. Big old open mouth here. I gotta seal up your mouth. Right there. I guess what we do is this. This. I bet you like there's like my hair in this thing from the top of my head and this and probably can pull in a whole me from it. My hair. Superman, that's Superman's full movie, right? That's Superman 3. Richard Pryor. What was that about? I don't know. Superman 2 was lame. Lame. It stayed number 1 left of that. Like, oh, Christopher Reeve, love Christopher Reeve. Yeah, he was alright. I thought the Man of Steel was pretty good. I like that movie. It seemed interesting. So they didn't have I want to say that there's no form to it. There's no desirous to American way. You know, his desire is not to help America. His desire is kind of like to figure out his own plan, which is kind of like the nature of the beast of America. Everybody's trying to figure out who they are, and that's sort of what needs to be done for the country. You know? So let me see. I should actually extend the thing, but I won't know if it is or isn't, you know? Okay, I'm pretty much almost done. I'm at the point where I'm kind of done and frustrated. So, let's see, here. Okay, it's just about right there, and then fix it up real quick. Alright, neck, here. There, let's see, let's suck it up. Next thing I do is gonna put some mods on it. Oh, I thought that'd be fun to do. I'll do that tomorrow. Oh no, I can't do it tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna release them, the Praying Mantis. So let's do a change for that. I'm gonna probably do a live video on that. So let's see how that works. But it depends on how cold. It's been pretty cold lately. Yeah. So let's see how that works out. Almost on tape. Almost on tape. See, the whole thing about like frogs, like they say they don't drink, and some amphibians don't drink. Some of them have gills. Gills. Amazing creatures, man. Amazing creatures. So yeah, I'll put this on a string and it's play like a cake. Monster, look at you.
Big old man, I'm gonna hug you, look at you, I'm gonna hug you, look at you, yes, you serve me, look at you.
Alright, so next thing we're gonna do is gonna have the figure out some parts that are missing. I'm almost out of tape, okay? When I get out of tape, that's it, it's a wrap, okay? I'm ending the video. I run out of tape. Now to my last rotation. Okay, so we have rotation. Head. Just almost there. Alright. Go. Okay. So, the tail. The head. The body. You got that work in your mouth, but I don't have enough tape to finish your mouth. See? One more almost rotation, I'm almost finished. Just light, right down to the very meat and potatoes. See that? Okay, right down to it, almost there. Alright, so last rotation, almost there. Yep, see, down to this much tape left. So when I run out of tape, that's it. I'm gonna call it quits for the night. I want to thank you all for watching my video. Thank you so much for watching my video. You know, I don't know how many people watched or anything because I pretty much I was over here and the cameras over there. I did check to see if it was on, so I'm glad it was on. But this is the creation of a Diplocalus hammerhead salamander. Okay. And if it's true to the hammerhead situation, on tape. then what happens is that it too will have all the cool superpowers of Salamander or Hammerhead Shark, which has superpowers of all the shark things, which is pretty cute. So here you have it. Masking tape duplicates. Pretty cool. Very lightweight. Very lightweight. Very cool. So there you have it. Okay, well, thank you all for watching my show tonight, and I'm gonna have more in my show later. I'm gonna put the another coat of tape and also some Mod Podge as well. All right, so I wish you Godspeed, God bless you. May the algorithm always be in your favor. You know, the one that helps you if you're a YouTube creator. And thank you so much for watching my channel. So I wish you all the best. Have a good night. All right, I'm gonna wrap this stuff up and go and call it. So God bless you. All right, peace and God bless. All right, bye.